Hi. Hello, I'm here finally again. So sorry about having to reschedule. I was sick yesterday. Well, I still am a bit, but so much better. I've got antibiotics now. Waterway infections are never nice, are they? So, hi, Pinky. Good to see you. Thank you for watching. I wanted to talk to you about my own business today, and also because, Rashawn's group is a marketing group, isn't it? So I'm going to pick up on the marketing side of things. But of course, there are many things that fall into that category, many factors that work with it as well. It's not just like saying, okay, do X, Y, Z, and that's it. It's not just a do thing. It's a mindset. So I'm going to talk about mindset. I'm going to talk about basic content, and I'm going to talk about what we're doing here as well, which is network and teamwork. Okay. So networking and teamwork. So hi, Christy. Hello, so nice of you. I think, for you guys, it's probably early morning, isn't it? It's my afternoon, 3 p.m. So, oh, hi, Rashawn. Thank you for joining as well. So good to see you guys. So anyway, I've got 20 to 30 minutes, which for me isn't much because I really love to talk. I'm a storyteller. So I'm going to start right off and try and really get to the point. So number one is mindset. And if somebody can just type that in, maybe in the comments, so you've got that in your head afterwards as well, what you can take away from that. Just put, hashtag one mindset or something like that. So we start with that one. The first thing is you have to get your head around, of course, you have to be clear what you want, which is really difficult if you are a multi-passionate person like myself. You have to also build the confidence around that. So for me, that was really difficult, and it took me a long time because I have a spiritual side of my business. Hi, Gladys. Thank you so much, Christy. I've got a spiritual side of the business, and I've also got, the romance side, which is a lot more mundane. Of course, it gets very kinky and all that, well, at least my books do. And I was really afraid that when I, put everything together, that like the spiritual crowd that I was friends with would totally desert me and unlike my page and not follow me anymore, because they'd be like too holier than thou or something, to admit they like something like that, or just because they're not interested or it really offends them. And then I was also afraid, okay, the guys who like the romance part, they might not be comfortable with the spiritual side. They might have completely different beliefs as well, and because of that, they wouldn't follow me, or they'd be bored with spiritual content stuff on my side. So first of all, thank you, Rashawn. Good morning, everybody, again. So first of all, I had everything on 2 separate pages, and obviously that didn't work out because I couldn't even keep up posting content on one, let alone 2 of them, because I wasn't really clear what I was doing, what I wanted. I felt very insecure. I wasn't sure how people would perceive me. I was afraid of judgment and all that. So I had to do a lot of self-work on my confidence and tell myself, and really realize and integrate that knowledge that there are people out there just like me who are spiritual and who love a raunchy romance book. I'm not the only one in the world, and that's my target market is that, and not like the really young crowd women, of course, because I'm just past the age where I want to write about, 19-year-olds meet each other in college, fall in love and have a baby kind of thing. I mean, I'm a single mom. My youngest is 12 years old, and I'll be so happy when she's out of the house. My patience is wearing thin here. Not that we aren't a great team, but, I want to live my own life more as well again. So, slowly getting there, of course. But that's part of it as well. So I don't usually write about what the age is of the characters that I have. Obviously, they have a certain maturity to them, and from the history you can tell that they're not like early 20s anymore. But at the same time, I like to keep that open so everybody can like identify with it without straight away thinking, oh no, he's too young for me, or he's too old for me, or something like that, So I like to keep that open. I do multicultural stuff as well, but I don't advertise as interracial, because for me, that's not really a strong point about, oh my God, this white woman is having black eyes or whatever, So for me, it's like we're all people, and some are darker than others, which is beautiful. I love that personally, but it's all different, So I don't put a weighting on that one. That's my personal thing. So I've gotten really clear about that. Do I want to? Because people have told me, you have to advertise as interracial, because then you get more people who are into that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that, because to me, that's usually when you advertise when you see stuff that's advertised as interracial, it's very pornographic. It's just about the sex thing, and also in a context that I don't like personally, like a married couple and the husband is watching his wife having, fun with other people, other men, and that's not my thing, So hi, Shelley. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, Shari. So that on the way side, so you see, and then of course I'm a Reiki master, I'm a healer, I'm a card reader, and I love people up. I, do my best to make them feel more comfortable. I'm a goddess coach, and so that is something very different, and you might think diametrically opposed, but at the same time, it's like also, guys, you have to get confident about your own sexuality as well, and that is okay. It's not unspiritual either to, have a physical aspect of your life, because the physical dimension is just one dimension of you're a spiritual being, but that's not divorced from your physical life, but it's and existence, but that's just part of it. It's just like when you have your body and there's the hand is attached to the rest of your body, so that's basically what that is. So get your mindset clear. If you have something that is more in one line, of course, it'll be easier than my long-winded approach and stuff, now really getting everything together and having the confidence to say, not feeling rejected when somebody unlikes my page because, maybe the picture of the top shirtless guy with ink all over, and muscles and things is too much to bear for somebody who's very, I'm so spiritual, so it's no personal offense. It's just other people have other preferences sometimes, and that's okay. And I find my crowd, and, and the people that I'm attracting now into my life, into online as well as offline, they are, they vibe so good with me. It's just incredible. And I meet more and more people that I really, really like, even if they're very different, but, the vibe is just right. And that's just totally beautiful. I love that. So you will find, once you get over all that fear business, that's going to happen to you as well. So that is something that, look forward to. It's worth facing the fear and doing it anyway, definitely, So point number 2 is your basic content. And a lot of people have talked about this. I love what Dorothy said. I'm sure it was Dorothy. If not, correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm just going by memory here. That she said, you have to have your own content. Don't just share from other people, and that, which is totally true. You have to have your own look. Rashawn is doing that beautifully when you look at her, especially when you look at her Instagram on the feed, that's just as color coordinated. It's the same, totally the same style and all that, So at one glance, when it comes up, you know it's her post. You don't even have to read her name. You know it's her. So that is something that will dig into people's subconscious. And as soon as they see that, they're like, ah, that's her again, you know? And that's the branding side of it. You know, I've got different things as well, but I also have like I've well not right at the moment because I've been slacking in actually keeping up with, you know, putting that stuff on buffer for various reasons. I have to keep, you know, do that again. But I've had these memes that have a cat on it, so like a very artistic kind of cat, you know, and one is lying, very colorful, one is sitting on the side. And so the lying one is the one that has text on top, which is like spiritual inspiration. And it's called, you know, the heading is Tirza's inspirational quotes. And the other one has the text on the side of the cat, of course. And then it says, you know, Tirza's love quotes. So there's like spiritual loving stuff, there's romantic stuff, and there's also raunchy stuff, you know, and that's me. And I love it. And I love how I am and what I do, and like it or lump it, you know. So that is the confidence factor again. And just be who you are. Absolutely, Shelley. That's you know, it does take a lot of time sometimes, you know, because we have a lot of blockages. We've gone through a lot of rejection in our lives, you know, and the social conditioning that we have, depending on what background we have and all that, or what kind of groups we're integrated with, you know, the people we're running with, that might all play a part of us feeling insecure about kind of stepping out of the box, you know. Thank you, Russia. So that's all part of it. And then, of course, like for me, it's you know, I've got that as that is just value content. That is not buy my books, book my services, or anything. This is a gift from me to you. I'm, you know, genuinely, I'm sharing my wisdom with you, and you know, I want to give you some added quality in your life. That's basically what that is, you know. So don't let every post that you do be about, you know, just selling. But, you know, you have to give quality content value, you know, quality, whether it's just value or also sales, is the absolute must anyway. That is, if you don't deliver quality as best as you can, it doesn't mean you have to be a total perfectionist, because that's paralyzing you as well. I know that. I've been there. I'm still fighting and struggling with that. You know, not to let that totally break me out, you know. And but it is so important to be able to stand 100% behind what you're offering, you know, what you want people to spend their money on with you. And what is so important as well is that everything you do, you put your energy into it, okay? What you do is like, don't create something like you make pictures and you think, oh my God, you know, I need some pictures for this week. And, you know, I only have 5 minutes, you know, looking at your watch, and you just, you know, get something done really quickly and whatever. And even if you have these kind of templates already in place and you think, oh, I just have to copy and, you know, the stuff. And if you have that kind of energy running, which is stressed out, fearful, or, you know, somebody upset you and you're still having that anger and resentment going on, do not do that. Rather just leave it, okay? Because that's not only not working, it's counterproductive, because you're putting out that kind of energy with your post that will be infused in the posts that you're creating, in your pictures and everything, and you don't want that in there. So it's better to leave it, do it some other time, or just sit back, you know, and you know, really meditate and get your energies flowing again, and get into the right space, head space and heart space, you know, get into your heart space. and create from there. Everything else is not just not working. It's going to put people off on an energetic level. It's subconscious, then they won't know it, but it will repel them, and that's going to just, not work and actually, damage your business. So you're welcome, Shelley. Your work is amazing. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you love it. Hi, Idioma. Sorry, I'm not wearing my reading glasses. Very nice to see you as well. Thank you for joining. So, so that is very important that you have, that's part of my work when I coach people as well. It's like the first thing we have to do is work on your mindset and your energies. Don't do anything before you're not really there in your heart space, because what you're doing is you're a fempreneur, isn't it? So you've chosen to do that because you love to do that. It's not because you hate it. That's a kind of a 9-to-5 job, that you're just doing because nothing else was available and you have to pay the bills. Okay. You are out there doing your own business because that's what you burn for. That's what you love to do. That's what you want to help people with, and, and add some value to their lives in one way or another. So that's the kind of energy you have to put in there. And when you start a business, and, also when you're growing and expanding, you think very often you get stressed out, you get to your, to your limits, and you have to overstep them as well, face all your fears, and you have to learn so many new things all at the same time. It's like you're constantly being pushed out of your comfort zone on a daily basis, isn't it? So it's very, very quick that we lose our good vibes in that one, because we're stressed out, we're scared, all the rest of it, the whole shebang. I don't have to tell you, I'm sure you've all been there. But it is so important, and that's not just an act of self-care, but it's also an act of business care to, sorry, a bit hungry, I haven't eaten yet. So it's all about, it's business care as well, to put good vibes in there, and, to really put that energy in there. If you're an energy healer of some kind, you can give, let's say you're a Reiki healer like myself. I constantly also send Reiki to my business. I infuse Reiki, and, I've got crystals here when I create my posts and all that. So, the intentions and the healing energies, and, and the love energies from my heart, they all go into what I'm doing, Still working on that money attraction thing, but who's perfect? This year is going to be my, what Rashawn called the first 1K, isn't it? So in one of her previous videos, which I loved so much. So, this coming year is going to be that for me. We're still all growing, evolving, and all the rest of it. So the last point I wanted to go into with you here is, one more thing, in case you are not an energy worker, or you don't have training in energy work or anything like that, you can do like guided meditations, and just really, drop into your heart space and carry that, and just intend that this love and that passion that you feel for what you do, gets carried through all your posts throughout, is infused as energy in your business in total, on the whole, and also, in specific things, areas that you do. Hi, Beth and Rebecca, hi. So good to see you. So yeah, that is, that was number 2, about the content, and then of course you have more specific content with special promotions and things like that going on, so that is the third point. We're getting one now. Can somebody just put in #basic content? So we've got that as well. That's the number 2. Then we have number 3, networking and teamwork. That is hashtag number 3, networking and teamwork. That is the third point. And let me tell you, I have so learned this year how important this is. Not just because it feels really, really great to be connected to other people who are on a wavelength with you and who support each other, have your back. And, when you struggle, they say, come on, you can do that. And, they cheer you on and you cheer them on. And you feel like you're part of a group of like-minded people. That makes such a difference in your life, doesn't it? That. Unconditional love, you're glowing. Thank you so much, Shelley. Thank you. Thank you so much, Christy, for writing that as well. I really appreciate that. So that is one aspect, of course. I've connected a lot to other authors this year, which I hadn't done before. I have very much like a spiritual crowd going, and which is cool as well. And I love every one of them. But, I needed to have like authors in my life as well to kind of, to have that kind of common ground with writing, and also some, like reach out to people and then ask about things. And I was able to find people who were happy to explain something to me. Now I've moved on from just being on Amazon with my books. I know how to now put them on different platforms as well. And my romance novels I've done already, but the other ones, it's only 4 other ones anyway. But I still have to do. And I've also found how to put stuff out on audiobooks, because Audible, which is owned by Amazon, only lets US and UK residents take part in that. So I couldn't actually put my stuff out on Audible before, and I didn't know all the rest, and I'm not very techy. So for me, that is, I know, Rashawn, you said, once somebody explains it to me, it's okay, but I can't just go and look for video tutorials and stuff like that and research that way. That doesn't work for me, and I just have this huge block. Okay, if there's somebody who gives me a smile and says, come on, darling, I'm going to show you how to do that, I run with it. Rashawn, you've told me what to do, with the buffer bot and so on, how to schedule stuff, and I've done it and I'm running with it, of course. But the first initial, approaching that and getting to know that and learning that, I needed to have like a personal interaction with it, and so I can ask questions at the moment as well when I don't understand something, which you don't have in YouTube tutorials, of course, because they're pre-recorded. And so they might not, explain it in a way that I can actually relate to, because a lot of people who are very good in technology talk like that as well, and they forget that other people watch that. You're a quick learner. Yes, I am. Again. So yeah, after that burnout, I felt really, when I first happened, I felt really mentally disabled, because everything was kind of jumping around in my head. But I've got my mojo back now, and I'm a good way of towards my old IQ, I would say. So yeah, that's a nice thing. And it is also brilliant to do promotions together. Okay, so I'm actually running 2 promotions at the moment. Well, one I'm not part of, but because it's the same group of people promoting their work, I'm promoting that as well, of course, which is free books, teaser books. So we've taken like the first 20, 30 pages from our books, put it in a separate book, and then you can read. I've talked about that in the interview on Monday as well. If you want to go back, I've got that spreadsheet with the links to the previous videos, which I'm going to work at, updating today as well. Sorry, I couldn't do it yesterday, but I was feeling really sick and tired. I fell asleep on the couch. But anyway, so when you do promotions together, or like this one here, the summit, what a brilliant thing this is. You have women here from, with different expertise, areas of expertise. We can all share and learn from each other, and connect that way and help each other out this way. I've got plenty of inspiration already, even though I wasn't able to watch anything yesterday, which I'm gonna, catch up with today and tomorrow as well. But and I promise I will. Just because you're so great, not just because I have to say this, but I really love it here. And you can do like author promotions, you can do other promotions, and it's like everybody promotes this, and we all, so you've got a much wider platform of people that are reached. You've got a much wider reach when you're doing these team promotions, these group promotions. And that's a brilliant thing. And like in case of the authors and on Book Funnel, what we're doing now, they're actually, their promotions written out and they're open for people to join. And you can just have a look, which promotions are running or are about to run. And you can join up in there. And, even though you don't know the people or something, that is such a brilliant thing to do. And, you can write about each other in your newsletters as well. So it's not so one-sided. It's not like sometimes it's like you get newsletters and every single newsletter is about the same old, because they haven't got any more content to put on. But how brilliant is that if you say, hey, I've got a friend and she does this and that, and she's really brilliant and what she's doing and whatever. Don't be scared that she's taking away your business or something, that's just, because that is really SBS. The people who love you will love you regardless, and they will really like that you put them in touch with other people that they might really like as well. So that's a plus, it's a bonus, and having the vibe of supporting each other, it's always something that makes you more likable to people, more trustworthy as well. I definitely, when I see somebody hyping up other people as well, their friends and connections, without getting something from it immediately in that moment at the same time, like, they're not earning from you getting sales or something like that, but just saying, look here, I love what that person is doing and that's great. You just, you have a feeling, oh, wow, that's a nice person. So they're not going to take the mickey. I can trust them because they have the best at heart for everybody else, So that is a big factor as well. So we have to get away from having that lack mentality of thinking like, if you earn money, I'm not going to earn money because people only have a limited amount of money they can spend and things like that, There's enough to go around, the law of attraction, abundance, and all the rest of it. It's just we're blocking ourselves. Okay, that's the only thing. So be open, do your thing with everybody else, and hype each other up as much as you can, because we rise by lifting each other up. Okay, if you try and climb that mountain and you're right on top, all on your own, first of all, it's really lonely out there. You don't want to have that. You don't want to be alone. You've been, joining so much social media because you don't want to be alone with your mindset, isn't it? And around you, you might have been the only one who's like spiritually aware or something. Then, or whatever it is you're doing, So then, of course, if you're here and everybody else is down there, do you know how much effort it takes to constantly keep your vibes up, to stay here above everybody else, rather than raising them with you, and then everybody's in the same vibe, and they hold you hold each other, you carry each other through the difficult parts. Because if you're like here and you've got a slumpy day and something happens, you fall and it's going to be hard. If everybody's up here, they hold you. That's a safety net. Your energetic and your emotional safety net as well, and your mental safety net. Okay, so see your sisters and also your brothers, of course, that you work with, as your support team, as the people who love you and who want the best for you, and vice versa as well, of course, you for them, and not as competition. There's no such thing as competition, really. Okay, because even if two people do the same thing, you have your own personality, you're unique. There's only one you in the whole world. So whatever you give out, your tribe's going to find you, because they're supposed to, because you resonate with them, and that's your energy, that's attracting like to like. Okay, so I've got my half an hour. I've been really good, haven't I? I've been very quick at going through the points for my usual self. So, so thank you very much for listening. I love you all so much. Yes, I'm feeling much better already. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Rashon. Abundance. Yes, beautiful, supporting each other. Absolutely, very important. Right, and be yourself. You don't have to copy anybody else because they're already taken. Be yourself. That's the one and only important thing. Okay, do your own thing. Love you so much. And I'll be watching the other stuff now and commenting and connecting with you all. So looking forward to doing that now. So